Think kind of citrus, bit of grapefruit, bit of lemon.
I do not think any of those things.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I'm a bit of a whiskey nerd.
My name is Rose and I'm a whiskey noob.
And today we're going to show you a bit more about whiskey, this time how finishing can impact a whiskey.
Alright, I have no idea what that means, but I guess I'll learn.
Okay, well essentially finishing is just where they take a whiskey, they take it out of its original barrel and they put it into another barrel for a couple of months to give it new flavours.
Why?
Basically just to add a different twist to it. So this is going to be the standard Jameson, which is just their standard blend. Then we've got two here that were finished in different beer barrels. One that was finished in a stout cask and one that was finished in an IPA cask.
Alright, I'm a little nervous about those two because I'm not the biggest beer fan.
Well, they're actually kind of interesting because the stout one kind of adds more chocolatey or kind of coffee notes, and then the IPA one adds kind of floral, grapefruit, kind of fresh notes to it.
I didn't think you'd get those from beer.
Well, yeah, you can get it through to a whiskey. So today we're going to try these out and we're going to see how they compare against each other.
Alright, cool. Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the standard Jameson blend just to get used to it, and then we can see how it changes depending on the casks.
Oh, it smells nice.
Yeah, I mean standard Jameson, it's a good whiskey. I mean it's a budget whiskey. It's definitely kind of on the entry level whiskies, but it's solid, it's nice, it's sweet, it's not too sharp, it's not too strong.
I just think of a Jameson and ginger ale immediately.
Yeah, it's very good like in cocktails like that.
Okay, just still Jameson and ginger ale is just on my mind.
Yeah.
It's got a nice start, but it is like a wee bit harsher, not even at the end, like in the middle.
Yeah.
And through the end.
Okay, well we'll see if that gets softened by the finishing.
Okay.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to give you Jameson Stout. So this has been finished in stout casks for a couple months, and this should give us some nice chocolate notes. So see if you can find anything on the nose.
Like dark chocolate?
Yeah, think like that or like an espresso. Like in a dark nose.
Yeah, just there's a lot of darkness to it.
Compare it against the original Jameson.
This is much lighter, the original one.
Yeah.
This is definitely darker.
Okay.
Like dark, like not like bitter chocolate, but like dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, it's much kind of thicker as well. Doesn't it feel like a little bit heavier or denser?
Yeah, and there's no burn.
Yeah, because like the stout's kind of quite sweet to begin with, so it would add a nice lot of flavour to it.
What?
You seem surprised.
I am so surprised. One, I thought with the beer, it was like gonna not be so tasty. And I was like, oh, chocolate, this could be one of those notes that I won't get. It literally tastes like chocolate.
Right? So yeah, go back and compare it against that, like the actual taste.
Compared to this.
It's so much smoother, right?
Yeah.
Now, would you use this with Jameson ginger ale? No, right? It is different.
Dessert whiskey.
Yeah, it's much easier to drink, I think, but it wouldn't, I think, go as well with like a soda in a cocktail.
Oh gosh, no. First one cocktail, second one by itself.
Okay, now try out this one. This was finished in IPA casks.
Okay.
Okay, so again, on the nose.
It doesn't smell like chocolate.
No. Think kind of light, citrus, floral kind of notes.
Maybe floral aromas, but I can't really judge anything in particular, to be honest.
How does it compare against the standard Jameson on the nose?
Standard Jameson seems to have more flavor in the nose, I think.
Okay.
So maybe this one just has lighter flavors, because like floral aromas and stuff, those always seem like very light to me.
Yeah. Bit sharper, right?
Yes.
But still kind of quite sweet, kind of dry almost. Think kind of citrus, bit of grapefruit, bit of lemon.
I do not think any of those things.
What do you think?
It's just like too much dryness. It's got an aftertaste. Too much dryness. I don't know.
You just don't like it?
I don't really like it. You should have done this one last.
Okay, compare it against that one now.
Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Dark chocolate goodness.
Okay, what? This. So this is dark chocolate goodness. What do you call this one?
This is a Slap in the face.
A slap in the face.
But like some people might like that.
Some people might get like getting slapped in the face, yeah.
Yes. So,
what if you're going to pick out one as your favorite? Yes.
This one.
The
Chocolate one.
The stout one.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very
I
good.
never thought I'd like stout.
Because she isn't much of a beer drinker, but like I think that works really well with Jameson. Because Jameson, on itself, it's a little on the sharper side. It's not like a really expensive, really good quality like whiskey. It's not like your top end single malts. But when they add in that stout cask, with it rounds out so much like the little sharp edges and makes it much smoother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd say the first one, your standard one, it's fine, but it is great in a Jameson and ginger ale, so
Yeah.
good cocktail one.
Yeah, this is much more flexible. Like this, I put it in espresso martinis and it's quite good there.
Okay.
But like you wouldn't be able to put it with ginger ale. You wouldn't be able to put it in like a whiskey sour cocktails like that.
Yeah.
It's the stout cask, those chocolatey, those kind of coffee notes. They just overpower it.
Yeah, you want to enjoy it for itself, I would
Yes.
say, for this one. The last one, don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, like I've had it in kind of cocktails where I've added some soda to it and it's been alright there. I'm trying to find some good use for this. I think this is way more versatile.
Yeah.
So if I was going to use a cocktail with soda, I'd probably go for the standard Jameson. I don't know where I'd reach for this. I mean, it is nice. It's a bit different. Comparing the two is actually kind of fun. But I think the stout one on its own is very good.
Agreed. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm pretty familiar with these. Like I'm a bit of a whiskey nerd. Like I've had these for a while. I've tried them a few. This is not my first bottle of either of these. Like I've had them a few times.
It's
Definitely
my
not
first.
my first bottle of Jameson. But as a noob, you'd say stout is where to go.
Yes, stout is where to start for Jameson. But like there is a difference between, I think, whiskeys that you use for cocktails and then whiskeys that you enjoy on their own. Like this first one is great within cocktails, but the second one is great on its own. Because sometimes if you have a whiskey that should be had on its own, if you put that into a cocktail, it might be overwhelming. It might not actually make a nice cocktail, and vice versa. Having something on its own might not be that good, but then you put it into cocktail, it's delicious. So even if you try a whiskey by itself, even if you may not necessarily like it or like the whole experience, when you put it into a cocktail, I think that there's uses for all of the whiskeys. It just might not be necessarily straightforward.
Yeah, because like a stout, it's a black beer, right? It's quite sweet though. It has that roasted barley, has a little bit of sweetness to it. So I think by finishing in the stout barrels, they've added a bit of sweetness, taken the sharp edges off. By putting the Jameson in a cocktail with a soda, you take off those sharp edges by adding that bit of sugar. So I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, of course I am.
Alright, well I think that's where we'll leave it today. I will see you next time.
Bye bye.
Sláinte.